This is 7.2, division properties of exponents, day 4. These are just getting trickier. They're not getting any more difficult, like in terms of like what we're. There's no new rules or anything. That's what I mean. They're not more difficult in that way. They're just kind of trickier because they are getting to be more and more steps. So let's start with number 1 here. If I'm distributing this 2 in, it's going to go to all 3 of these bases. The -2, the x, and the y. Now, if I'm writing this properly, this -2 started in parentheses, so I have to make sure I write it in parentheses again. Put a 2 as its exponent. And then x to the second would be x to the 4th because you multiply. Y to the -6th to the second would be y to the -12th. Then in terms of this one, I'm just going to start to draw my fraction symbol. I know I'm going to have some stuff go to the bottom. So the -2 squared is a +4. That's going to stay on top. X to the 4th also stays on top. But that y to the -12th has to go to the bottom and become a +12. Okay. I've already done number 2 for you here. You can see I've got it in steps based on colors. So I distributed in the first step. That's me distributing right there. That -2 exponent. This is me simplifying that and moving things around. And then lastly, I simplified that 2 squared to make it a 4. So there's my steps on number 2. Number 3. Number 3, I distributed in this -3 to everything, and I got this. Make sure you're checking your work and not just copying what I have here. Then after moving things around, this is what I got. And then finally, that was my final answer. Number 4, here's an example of us going through this together. That -3 is going into everything. So since the 3 started in parentheses, I better keep it in parentheses like that. X to the 4th power to the -3rd power would really be the -12th power. 4 to the -3rd power. And x to the 7th to the -3rd is -21. Now I can move some things around if I'd like to, which I will. So if I move that that 3 to the -3rd power to the bottom, that actually becomes a +27. The 4 to the -3rd power goes to the top. I believe that's 64. And then the x to the 21st power goes up. X to the 12th power goes to the bottom. And I'm going to end up subtracting those. So 21 minus 12 is 9. So I'm going to erase this, and I'm just going to change this to a 9 because that's what I would end up doing anyway. That would be a 9 if I subtracted those. Number 5, I've got my work shown. Distribute, simplify, final answer. Number 6 is the same as number 5 on this copy, so I crossed it out. Number 7. Okay, we got a lot of distributing to do on number 7. That -1 is going to go into everything, so let's just get going with it. Start it out by saying, okay, the 12 gets a piece of that -1. M would make that a -2. N would make that a +9. P would make that a -6. 20 to the -1st. M to the 2nd. N to the 7th. And P to the -3rd. Okay, we distributed in our -1. Now, I'm not going to actually move things around first. I'm just going to kind of... I'm going to go through the numbers first. So the numbers are going to flip, obviously. The 20 is going to go up and the 12 is going to go down. And then I can simplify that. 20 over 12 is, what, 10 over 6, which simplified more would be 5 over 3. My m's, I can just subtract these. I don't have to do any crazy work here with these m's. M to the -2nd minus 2. So I'm subtracting because it's division. So -2 minus 2 is -4, which means my final answer is going to have m to the +4 on the bottom. Next one, the n's, n to the 9th and n to the 7th. That's going to be a positive 2, so that'll go up top. Last one here. Negative 6 minus negative 3 is negative 3, so it's going to be p to the positive 3 on the bottom. Here's my work shown for number 8. I distributed in the negative 2, which is a little bit trickier. Then I flipped everything around, and then I simplified. Number 9, distributed in my negative 1, flipped everything around, and simplified. There is the answers for that note guide. Here's your practice. Do that on Alex. All right.